For more, let's speak to our international affairs editor, Angela Diffley. Hello, Angela. Tell us more about what this mobilization means in practice.
Yeah, well, this is not where Vladimir Putin wanted to be at this stage, 7 months after his invasion in February. It's an admission that Russia does not have enough fighters. Now, they're being very careful to call it a partial call-up, and the number of 300,000 is being thrown around. It applies to men of fighting age who have military experience. A number of Russians are worried about that because very many of them have done military service, which is being counted as military experience. And according to, so far, what they are saying, the Russian authorities, it does not apply to students. But there is, according to some outlets in Russia, a secret redacted paragraph in this decree, which would allow Putin to expand enormously the call-up so that it would be more or less conscription, and up to 1 million people could then be affected. Putin was very keen to try to call this a special operation. He didn't want to call it a war. He hoped that Russians would be able to carry on their lives as usual, that this would be a special operation far away and wouldn't really impact on their daily lives. The fact that he is moving closer to calling it a war, mandatory call-ups and perhaps conscription later, is really a sign of the difficulties he's in. It's very different having a faraway special operation to body bags coming home with sons, daughters, brothers. And so there is very real concern in Russia. This wasn't what the Russian people had been led to believe was likely to happen.
And so what has reaction been?
It's difficult to know how much Moscow might have expected the resistance that is being seen on social media. There has been a considerable amount of protest in main cities, big cities in Russia. Some of the protesters who are then jailed for protesting against this war are served with draft papers while they are in jail, which it appears is legal in Russia. There's been massive resistance, massive protests, but of course the vast majority of people do not dare do that. This is a country which is heavily controlled, and so most people wouldn't dare do that. On social media, there is instructions on how to break your own arm, because, of course, if you break your arm, you will be considered unable to fight. And that is an option for many people. There are also a number of people trying to flee the country. Flights to those places where you can still take a direct flight out of Russia, for example, Serbia, Turkey, and Dubai. Prices are sky high and most flights are full already. There was a stampede amongst certain numbers of people to get out. Others have been trying to go to Georgia, where you don't need a visa. So they've been trying to cross over to Georgia. Interestingly, some countries, Germany has said, we will welcome any Russians fleeing this war who do not wish to fight. They said they will conduct security checks, but otherwise they will welcome. And on the other hand, Lithuania, Estonia, Latvia, the Czech Republic say they will not welcome automatically Russians fleeing this and not wanting to fight in the war.
All right. Thank you very much, Angela. Angela Diffley, France 24's International Affairs Editor.